On the other side, Kyla Holmes and Yale trying to beat Brown for the first time since 2017. And we're underway. Tremendous matchup on this Wednesday night. Yale 1 win, 1 tie in Ivy play in navy blue. And Brown 1 win and something we haven't said in a while, 1 loss in Ivy League play in all white, going left to right in this first half. Right away, pressure applied by Brown. Going ahead for the speed of Isla Shaheen. That cross took a deflection, and Holmes, the goalkeeper, able to get to it. There's Shaheen, one of the insertions into the lineup. But she had been starting earlier in the year. 6 starts on the year for Shaheen, a freshman from Barrington, Rhode Island. This is Carly Schlosser, 37 in white. And that cross drifted to Holmes. What are you watching early, Patty, to see how these teams are approaching it and how they come out?
Well, certainly a big story is going to be the shape of Brown. As we mentioned off the top, looks like they've come out here in a 3-back system to match the 3 backs of Yale. So this is going to be a game that's going to be played straight up. Both teams trying to get in wide areas, get service into the box. Beyond that, though, you're already seeing a very high press from Brown, trying to put Yale under pressure, not allow them time and space to get into that rhythm and possession in which Sarah Martinez's team is so good when they're able to establish the ball at their feet, breaking lines, and building from the back.
And Brown able to switch the point of attack to Meredith Phillips wide on the right. That pass, though, broken up in the middle. Both goalkeepers going to be very comfortable when the ball played back to them. That turns over for Yale. Phillips getting forward with space. Rappel in the penalty area. And it's allowed to run out for a goal kick. Last year, the teams traded first half penalty kicks, and then Brown pulled away. And Patty, I think the summary was pretty simple. Brittany took over.
She did indeed, and certainly put on a performance for the ages, especially in that second half. But, you know, in that game last year, Yale had the better of the play throughout at least the first 15, 20 minutes. They took the game to Brown. You might be seeing a little bit of the opposite here. Brown clearly has come out with a lot of energy, trying to bounce back quickly from that result at the weekend and see if they can put Yale under a little pressure to start here in Providence.
And they didn't play in 2022 due to health and safety protocols. Brittany Ruffino also had a hat trick when they played in 2021, so Yale is very glad she's not here for this one. But that does not mean it's going to be simple. There was a shirt pull that's going to bring this play back. That's all the way back to the center circle.
Well, it's a good turn there in the center from the freshman Deanna Lundstedt, and certainly just a little bit of a tug from Ella Weil, and a good decision there from the center referee.
Race for that one in midfield, and Nana Young, number 8, one of the Yale captains, able to shield it out. That's Nadja Matey drawing the foul, and a free kick for Brown. Tanner Cahalan, the guilty party in this instance. Temperature dipping into the 50s for this one. Again, they used to play in November every year to end the regular season. Now the matchup pushed into October. Weil the target there, but nobody in white able to get onto the second ball. This is what we expected. Yale trying to build out of the back. Brown disrupting at the moment. Kira McGuire defended well by Meredith Phillips. Didn't let her get the cross in, even though it's a Brown corner.
Well, it's well done there from Kira McGuire to win a corner. But again, you're seeing how effective that press is from Brown, putting Yale under a lot of pressure, leading to chances like this. Ultimately, though, it's a good recovery here from Meredith Phillips not to allow Kira McGuire inside and a chance on frame.
Carly Schlosser, senior from Cooper City, Florida, to deliver the corner. Allowed to run to the back post. And that shot deflected on its way through. Defending set pieces has to be one big box to check for Yale, Patty, after the way Penn rallied to tie the game over the weekend.
Well, certainly they're going to want to tighten it up. But when we talked to Sarah Martinez this week, she said set pieces one of the bright spots thus far in the season for Yale, especially on the attacking end where they've been so successful. As you mentioned, though, giving up the set piece goal to Penn, a place in which this team can improve and could have found a little bit more success, let's say, against the Quakers for the weekend.
And certainly at the other end, Yale has been very dangerous in attacking set pieces. One of the keys to watch as well. Great defensive work by Schlosser of Brown, but Yale able to win the ball back. Neat pass by Young to split three players. Played through looking for Alana Butcher, but she's offside, and it'll be a Brown free kick. Chesney Robinson back defensively for Brown. She has been playing midfield, but at right center back in this three-back look. Brown with some very tough road games early in this season at Minnesota, at Ohio State. A tie and a loss out of those. And not just Ruffino, but some of the other experienced players they lost. Ava Seelenfrun, Jess Hinton, Cheyenne Allen, Claire Gagne. About half the starting lineup of players who had been here for a couple years and won Ivy League titles gone. So they seemed like they had figured it out when they beat Harvard to open Ivy League play. And then Saturday obviously changed the entire narrative. They gave up as many goals to Princeton on Saturday as they had their whole rest of the season combined.
Well, and that's sort of a double-edged sword. You know, we talk about the success that this program has had and the players that have come through, especially over the last 5 years for Kia McNeil, and yet she starts 5 freshmen here tonight. Can they have a short memory? Those are players that aren't necessarily used to that winning, and so the sting of an 8-0 loss, she's going to learn a lot about a very young team here early. It's been a good start. The first 15 minutes, they've been on top of Yale. They forced a couple of turnovers in the attacking third, and so certainly Kia McNeil's got to be happy with how her team has responded.
She said she told him, sometimes when you have a garbage performance, you got to toss it to the side and move forward. And so they talked about it Sunday. There was a players-only meeting, and from Monday, everything has been looking forward and about this response. But she did say she'd never lost 8-0 in her life, which I, of course, believe. And I'm guessing you haven't either. But, tough moments when you have to rebound, what did you rely on?
Well, listen, I'm not sure I had an 8-0, but I certainly had some ugly ones. And the fact of the matter is, you lose 8-0, you lose 1-0. At the end of the day, it's the exact same points that are marked down in the standings. And so if you're able as a team to have the maturity to move forward, know your quality, know you're better than the performance you put in, the ceiling is very high for this Brown team still. And by the way, the Ivy League, as we noted off the top of the show, has a lot of parity. This is a wide open league, and any of the 4 teams that get into the tournament capable of winning the title in the end.
This is Ellie Rappel with the step over. Has to wait for some support. Rappel stayed on side. Lexi Quinn headed away, but that's blocked on the way through. And Brown able to clear. Weil trying to hold it against Layla Booker. Tremendous matchup, and it's the freshman Ella Weil who comes away with it. Shaheen chases this. Isla Shaheen in the penalty area. And it's Andy Miller coming over to disrupt things. Still in play for Joy Okonye on that left. And trying to get her going after such a bright season last year, and she wins the corner.
Well, this is a really good build-up. It's good work from the freshman Ella Weil initially at midfield, and then to spring this pass in behind, finding Shaheen. Ultimately, though, Andy Miller does such a tremendous job coming all the way across the field from her right center back position and snuffing that one out before Brown can even put one on target.
Sophomore from Seattle, Andy Miller. Second corner kick for Brown as Schlosser sends it in. And she got that one wrong. It'll be a goal kick. So we talked about the mentality on the Brown side. Again, Yale had been really steady, finding offense from a variety of sources. They've started 19 different players this year, leading 2-0 at halftime against Penn, and just really disappointed with the second half performance on Saturday. Otherwise, they'd be 2-0 at the top of the Ivy standings. So a chance for them to bounce back. And 3 losses on the year, all of them just by the 1-goal margin. They also beat St. John's, won at Oregon State.
It's sort of the opposite story for this Yale team as Brown. You know, it's a veteran team, starts a lot of upperclassmen. Sarah Martinez, since she arrived at Yale, has been building towards years like this. And this is a Yale team that also has a huge upside. Sure, we've seen they've lost 3 games by 1 goal, and that's a disappointing result at Penn. But they are certainly capable of beating any team in the Ivy League and being really dangerous should they sneak into the NCAA tournament.
That pass easily picked off by Kira Trenor, another first year for Brown. Looking for the speed of Shaheen, and Layla Booker gives it away. Shaheen fires, and it's tipped over the top. Kyla Holmes to the rescue for Yale.
Well, Isla Shaheen has been a spark plug inserted into this Brown Bear offensive unit. She's just causing so many problems, getting in behind. This time, it's just pesky work down the line to take that one off of Layla Booker and then put one on frame. A good tip in the end, though, from Kyla Holmes to keep this game scoreless.
Third corner for Brown. Off the post and cleared away. Bears continue to threaten as Schlosser loops that one forward off the top of the crossbar. Brown is certainly responding well in the first 15 minutes here.
Well, responding well indeed. They're putting Yale under a tremendous amount of pressure and have done almost everything they could except put the ball into the back of the net. It's initially a good corner in, and then second, just a looper that almost sneaks in beyond Kyle Holmes, only to be denied by the crossbar.
There's Kira McGuire, started collegiately at Virginia, now in her third year and final year, we think, at Brown. You don't get a lot of super seniors in the Ivy League, but she's managed it. What about dealing with maybe an unexpected shape, Patty? Because, again, Brown hadn't put a three-back on tape maybe since the first game of the season. As that's a free kick in Brown's favor. No card issued at the moment.
I certainly think it's something that Yale will have seen on the training pitch, knowing Sarah Martinez and how diligent she is in her prep, and certainly she knows Kia McNeil capable of putting out the three-back. Not something they would have expected, but it's going to take a few paces here for Yale to get settled and find those spaces. Certainly you're seeing early on this transition, this shape from Brown has given Yale a lot of problems in the opening 16 minutes, and so important that Yale is able to settle down a bit, find the ball, and play through possession a bit more.
You're expecting Weil, a target player, to be up top a little bit by herself, and instead you have the speed of Shaheen, who's a high school track standout, to contend with. That's given away. Layla Shell won it back for Brown. Chesney Robinson looking for the run of Mate. And it's played out by Nana Young for a Brown throw. Young, Finnish Youth International. Been virtually ever present for Yale the last couple years. This is McGuire chasing it down for Brown. And couldn't turn her cross toward goal. '19th minute, no score. But Brown has definitely been the aggressor early. Hit the post. 4 saves, been on the front foot.
And if you're Yale, and you get it, this is a Yale team that wants to play. They want to play out of the back. They want to find feed, and they want to build through possession. But beyond just the tactical change to go 3 in the back for Brown, Brown has brought so much pressure, and they're putting Yale under pressure deep in their own half. Can they be maybe a little more direct, change the point of attack, and get out of that pressure so that you can flip the field and play a little bit in the attacking half?
You saw the idea by Vienna Lundstedt, but the run not being made, and so a chance for Yale to press Brown here. Early sub coming for Yale. Mars Aikens into the game at the back. And again, Yale will change out just about every position. Usually Logan Jacobs and Tanner Cahalan, 2 of the central midfielders, are the only ones who won't come out alongside the goalkeeper Holmes. There's Tanner Cahalan. almost invaluable to this group. Again, for years, the Ivy League has been, you play each weekend. As that turns over to Weil, jailbreak for Brown. Shaheen racing it, putting it low and putting Brown in front. The perfect response from the Ivy League champs. Don't write them off yet.
Well, Isla Shaheen inserted into the starting lineup by Kia McNeil into this Brown attack, trying to breathe life into a Brown attack, and boy, has she ever. It's a bad giveaway at midfield from Mars Akins, a good slip from Ella Weil, and then a really good decision from Isla Shaheen to take that one early, slip it past an on-rushing Kyla Holmes, and put the Brown Bears up 1-0 here in the first half.
Second career goal for Shaheen. One of the fastest they've ever had at Brown. They're worried about losing her to the track team, and they may need to be if anybody's watching this one. Or at least having to share her with the track team. But we wondered what each team would do for a response. And boy, has Brown delivered here in the first 20 minutes.
Well, and that high press of Brown has put Yale under so much pressure. Sarah Martinez elects to make a substitution, insert Mars Akins into the back line. Her first touch of the game, and she's dispossessed in a really bad spot, leading to that breakaway. Really well done from that press of Brown, and a tough moment there for the Yale back line.
Free kick for Brown here, staying on the front foot. Forcing Yale back as Robinson overcooks that one. Now, what a volleyball matchup we're going to have for you this Sunday on ESPN. Two of the top teams in the SEC. It's Texas, two-time defending national champion, 7th in the country at the moment, taking on Kentucky at Memorial Coliseum in Lexington. Coverage starts at 1 Eastern, noon Central. Top 15 showdown Sunday on ESPN. You know, we really thought, Patty, that Yale would have a lot of the ball. And as you said, that Brown press has really disrupted that. We've seen most of the game played in this half of the field, Brown's attacking half.
Well, certainly have, and if you're Yale, you might have to just be a little bit more direct, because they're being pressed in, being locked into that defensive third and unable to break that press of Brown. And so perhaps when you're in possession, can you play along one over the top just to stretch the field before you go back to playing again?
Great effort at the back post by Carly Schlosser, trying to get on to the end of that one. And again, you know, with the hurricane bearing down on Florida, Hurricane Milton, not a fun time for her. So our thoughts to everyone involved in dealing with that. Again, under pressure at the back. Booker was quickly closed down by Weil. And Yale has nowhere to go. I mean, it's not what Yale does, Patty, right? They're committed to playing out of the back almost to a fault. But at the moment, it's putting him in some tough spots.
Right, they play a quality brand of soccer, and certainly you want to see teams play and try to play through possession, but it's beyond almost to a fault. It is a fault now. We saw the fault. It ended up being a goal for Brown. So you're going to have to change things up. You're going to have to maybe go direct once or twice just to show a different look so that Brown has to respect the fact that you might do it.
Alex Chang, number 7, into the game. Another turnover. Schlosser with the big switch. Weil got the shot away, but too many bodies to make it a difficult one for Kyla Holmes. Now Ella Weil, just her 4th start of the season. How'd she get into the lineup? I've never heard of this one before. They had a finishing drill in training, and Keith McNeil said, whoever does the best in this drill, you're starting on Thursday. Ella Weil did the best. She started. She scored 2 goals, had an assist, so she kept starting. Then she had the game-winning goal against Harvard, so she kept starting. So that's a new one.
Right, she brings a different dynamic to this Brown team. She's 6'1", she's got a big athletic frame, is able to hold up, and is playing really nicely off of a speedy winger in Isla Shaheen next to her. So Keith McNeil might have found her winning potion there with those two up top.
Cahalan thought about switching it, thought better of it. And she and Chang exchange passes. But I mean, look at the effort Yale's going to just to get the ball to midfield. This is Kira McGuire. Booker and Aikens able to clear that one. It's almost, Patty, as if it's a point of Brown. Hey, you think we're down this year? Nuh-uh. We're going to prove something to you tonight.
Well, certainly that's the response that Keith McNeil was hoping for, and it's what she's seeing. And she's seeing it from a lot of young faces who have taken it upon themselves to put out a quality effort, which is leading to a quality performance. And certainly they've put Yale on their heels for the better part of this first 27 minutes. Key, though, can Brown get a second one here, though? Because you're not going to be able to expend this amount of energy for a full 90. You get the feeling if they can find a second goal, that perhaps they can break the spirit of Yale.
A switch on the corner taker. This will be McGuire. Lexi Quinn was the target at the back post. She's been their steady presence, senior from Menlo Park, California, and one of the captains this year for Brown. Again, Yale starting at the back, and it turns into Brown with the ball attacking the penalty area within seconds. There's Weil holding it up. Okonye, Mate, 2-0 Brown. They are so back, baby. What a response.
And what a response indeed. What a finish from the freshman, Naja Mate. It's a great run. A daunting run through the middle there from Joy Okonye, a good layoff, and then just the simplest of a clip off the left foot of Naja Mate to put it over Kyla Holmes and double the advantage for Brown. That is a peach of a finish from the freshman.
You can take a bow after that. First year from the Côte d'Ivoire. Spent 3 years at Suffield Academy after coming through the Right to Dream program. And it was the Providence game where she stepped into the midfield and started to really look comfortable as a number 10. A little bit deeper today. And she let Okonye, from whom they've been needing more production, play provider on that one. Okonye, 8 assists last year, only her second of the season with that one. And Brown's not done yet. Tried to find Weil at the edge of the 6.
Oh, we said it several times off the top of the show, Jonathan, that we were going to learn about this young Brown team. Well, through half hour, we've certainly learned what they're made of and how talented they are. On the flip side, we're about to learn about Yale because they've been punched in the mouth and they continue to be put under a ton of pressure. Can they compose themselves and find a way to build themselves back into this game before it gets out of hand?
Yeah, the thought was with no Rufino, Yale might be able to match Brown for attacking third firepower this year. To be honest, I'm not sure that's mattered because Yale just hasn't had the ball in the final third enough today.
Right, exactly. I mean, they certainly have the final third firepower, but they're unable to get out of their defensive third, and so we're not able to see the likes of Ellie Rappel and her cast and crew behind her. So how do you break that? And how are you going to break the press? Because what you're doing in trying to play through possession through those center backs certainly hasn't worked thus far. Got to see if you can be a little bit more direct into your central midfield. See if they can break the lines and start to get at Brown a bit here as we head into the final hour of this contest.
Sarah Martinez, her 5th year in charge, but her 4th season. Was in the job for 19 months before they finally played a game due to not playing during the pandemic. And they do have, right, they clearly have this distinct identity of how they play. But to your point, Patty, sometimes it needs a tweak or an adjustment to give you the opportunities you so desperately need down 2-0.
Well, 5 years in the job, Sarah Martinez has done a tremendous job in recruiting talent. She has a talented roster individually. She plays a great brand of soccer, possession-based brand. But with a Brown team that's bearing down on you, you're going to have to get players in wide spaces like this a little bit more direct just to get a breath, just to break that pressure and to show Brown that you're a little bit dynamic and can beat them in a number of different ways, because right now Brown really has found Yale's number.
That was Shaheen doing some hold-up work. This is Schlosser enjoying the freedom to get forward as a wingback. Her cross broken up by Booker. Neat touch by Ellie Rappel into space, but Chesney Robinson recovered and laid out with a long leg to poke that away. It will be a Yale throw, and here come what they hope are the cavalry to try and make a difference here in the final 13 and a half. So Tina Tyke, one of those. Ashley Kirshner came in after the goal. And this is Alicia So for Yale, losing out. A little bit farther forward than maybe Trenor wanted to come there, but Brown able to keep it. Bella Shop 30 yards from goal just to get a touch. 34th minute, and if you're just joining us, again, Brown is trying to bounce back from a stunning 8-0 loss to Princeton on Saturday. And it's not just the 8-0, they hadn't lost a regular season league game since 2018. A 29-game unbeaten streak that tied the Ivy League record, held by, of course, Brown. And boy, have they responded. Goals from Isla Shaheen in the 21st minute, Nadia Mete in the 28th. Both of them first years. And this is certainly a young team. Kia McNeil acknowledged maybe they're a bit naive. Well, that adversity from Saturday is already in the rearview mirror right now, Patty.
It certainly is, and if they're naive, it beats me, because you would think this is a very veteran group. I mean, the way they've come out, put in a complete performance. You see a handball there, certainly a handball to stop an attack. You would think
that's a yellow card, yeah.
The book there, yeah, yep.
It's not been given, but both Patty and I, in our non-accredited officiating viewpoints, thought it should have been. It's Alicia So.
Yeah, you get a good look here. Alicia So, yep, that's clearly an intentional handball, and fortunate from So not to be put in the book there for stopping that Brown attack.
Shots in the game are 11-0 Brown right now. All right, you'd be forgiven for thinking this was last year, or the year before, or the year before. And again, in other years, Brown has been positioning itself for an at-large bid on the off chance that they couldn't pull out the Ivy League championship. Last year, they lost in the tournament, got an at-large bid, went to the second round. This year, we're not sure anybody from the Ivy League, maybe except Princeton, can get an at-large bid if they don't win the conference tournament. And Brown knows there's plenty of time to get things right before then. Yale trying to set up shop in the Brown half for the first time. Cahalan had 2 to deal with. That was 1 too many. Okonye looking long for the speed of Shaheen. Still Isla Shaheen. Slide tackle at the last moment to get it away. Second ball could go anywhere, and Holmes had to read the bounce ahead of Schlosser to collect for Yale.
Well, and time and again here in this first half, it's been Isla Shaheen that's just been pesky down that line, putting Yale under a lot of pressure and finding a way to manufacture chances in the end there. Tries to go with the outside of the right boot and can't quite put it on frame, but the freshman Isla Shaheen has been so dynamic here in the opening 30 minutes, 35 minutes for this Brown team, and has really breathed life into a Brown attacking unit that needed it after this weekend.
Tabor Academy record holder in the 100-meter hurdles, in the 200 meters, in the 4x1 relay. Runs a 6:05 mile. And she doesn't need to run a mile to really cause trouble for defenses, as we've seen. Space here for Chang. She was at the Under-20 Women's World Cup with Korea. Born in Seoul, but raised in the U.S. from the age of 2. Didn't get to play any games, but starting to get more minutes now that she's back with Yale. Four games in the Ivy League tonight. And then most teams playing Sunday this weekend as part of the 3-game week. One game already in the books. Columbia, comprehensive win over Cornell to go to 3-0. We'll take a look at the Ivy League race at halftime, so I hope you'll stay with us for that. Brown is certainly intending to be part of that race. Out to a 2-0 lead here. I mean, they just haven't looked comfortable possessing at the back the way they typically do.
Well, and credit to Brown because they've put those center backs under a tremendous amount of pressure, but as you note, there's no sort of comfortability with the ball at your feet, and so when the center backs trying to play out through the wing backs, Brown is all over that. They understand the patterns that Yale wants to play through, and they almost know where the next pass is going, so there's got to be a little more creativity in possession and a few more ideas from Yale if they're going to play on the back end and start to get at Brown a bit.
Tyke did well to keep that moving. Chang plays it ahead of her, but Chesney Robinson is always going to win that foot race. Plays it out for a Yale throw. Can Yale sneak something here? Don't have a shot credited in the half. May have had one that didn't get through. Chance for Chang to deliver, and she left it too close to the goalkeeper, Bella Shop. Junior from Hinsdale, Illinois. Basically benched last year, Kia McNeil admitted. Claire Gagne kind of won the goalkeeping competition, took over. She's now at North Carolina. But Shop had started the year before and has been so appreciative of the chance to start once again. She started this at one end. Brown trying to put a bow on this first half at the other, and still pressuring here. There's Shaheen. She had the opening goal. There's Bella Shop. A couple of shutouts this year after she was terrific in 2022 with a save percentage better than .800. She was credited with a save on that officially. Again,
home scorer.
Yeah, again, Patty and I probably wouldn't have said that. As you see, big hugs for Nadia Mete coming off. Joy Okonye, who set up her goal, also getting a breather here late in the first half. Kia McNeil able to catch Ashley Kirshner coming into the technical area there. Kirshner, a junior from Washington State. You were saying, Isla, go. They want to go quickly and use her speed. This is Angelina Vargas just into the game a few minutes ago. Joining Shaheen up front. Vargas. Got the cross off. Dangerous one. Well, you talk about Shaheen's speed, but she's got pretty good footwork in tight spaces. Keeps coming away with the ball.
Right, she just has a real belief that she's going to come away with it. Seemingly every time she goes into a 50-50 challenge, she ends up with the ball at her foot. And so with that press and with the pressure she's able to put on Yale, she's just manufactured several chances here in the opening half.
Oh, you can see the passing patterns. Gorgeous here for Brown. Vargas end line. came right back to her. Oh, a chance maybe to put away the ball game right here late in the first half. And they couldn't finally turn one on target, but tremendous pressure continues.
Well, it's just a head-scratcher of a decision there from Andy Miller to give the ball back to Brown in a really dangerous spot. That ball just looked like it bounced up on the slightest bit for Ayla Shaheen and unable to direct that one on frame.
Also good to see Maya Grant-Clavijo back in for Brown. Missed a little time with injuries. Number 99 in white. There's the switch we've seen so few of from Brown today. This is Annika Bryant. And broken up immediately by Trenor. Brown corner kick coming here in the final minute of the first half. A third here would be devastating.
They got to hurry up here. 20 seconds left in the half. Trying to change takers here. You want to get this in play ASAP so that you can have not only the first, but perhaps a second chance.
Gianna DePriest with 12. Punch was missed. Holmes is down. And Brown can't get it through. Kirshner clears it. And Yale dodges further damage. But it's a first in goal for Brown. Underway in the second half. Brown out to a 2-0 lead. And going to try and put the hammer down on Yale and take care of business in this one. What kind of a response will the Bulldogs give after going behind? Kira McGuire bowls over Meredith Phillips, and it is a free kick for Yale coming out.
And this is a moment for Yale that you want to see those veteran faces step up, take some authority, take some responsibility for the performance of their team, because they do exist in Layla Booker, Ellie Rappel, certainly players that have been around the block in the Ivy League that are capable of being leaders. Can they start to right this ship for Yale and make this a game here in the second 45?
They got two around Joy Okonye, but wind up giving the ball back to her. This is Okonye with the pink boots for Brown. Kira Trenor for Brown with the switch for Carly Schlosser, the right wingback. Again, Brown had been 4-2-3-1 really since the first game of the season in terms of formation. And coming out with 3 at the back or 5 at the back, depending on your perspective. Certainly in this one, it's felt like 3 at the back and a lot of numbers pushed forward.
I'm not sure it's felt like any at the back. Those 3 at the back have been so pushed in the attacking half. They've been involved in the attack, and they've been involved in locking Yale in. That tactics aside, it's been the effort and the effectiveness of the press that have been the story of this game and been such a frustration for Yale.
Let's say the entire heat map is in the attacking half for Brown from that first half. There's Ella Weil back on the field and won a corner there. All the targets at the top of the 18, just Weil on the goalkeeper. Comes right back to Schlosser. Really good look off the delivery, and Shamgoshen tested right away, got down to her left to deny Kira Trenor.
Well, tested right off the bat is the freshman Anna Shamgoshen. She did really well to keep this game at 2-0 because that ball was coming through traffic, and a really good save down low.
Brown seized control of this game from the opening whistle. There's Trenor. We told you one of the defenders getting into the attack had that last effort. Goals in the 21st and 28th minutes, the difference in this one. Looked offside by several yards, and it'll be a Brown free kick. Ashley Kirshner has stayed in to start the second half. Konya able to win it in the center circle. She set up the second goal with a dribbling run, uses McGuire. Goal kick, the decision.
It was a good touch, first touch there from Kira McGuire to try to push that one to the end line, but better defending from Meredith Phillips, not only to see Kira McGuire out, but to win a goal kick.
Cahalan fouled after she released that one, so the free kick will come back about 15 yards to where the foul occurred. There's Tanner Cahalan, senior from Redondo, California. Alana Butcher. Yale unable to bring that down in the penalty area. And you could see the defenders dropping off. As soon as the ball went into the center circle, they were dropping off of Shaheen, getting ready for the ball in behind. That's played through for Rappel. Can she get there? Didn't have enough support as she played that through the six. It's the best move of the game for Yale.
Well, it's better spacing from Yale, more ideas in possession. It was initially Layla Booker who does well on the defensive end in winning possession. She picks her head up, finds wide areas, and builds through those wide areas. We talked about it early on, but Yale's a team playing 5 through midfield that has to play through their wingbacks. We didn't see it in the first half. Now we've seen it a couple times in the opening 5 of the second half. A good sign for Sarah Martinez as they try to work their way back into this game.
Kira Trenor, first year, just came in there with a clean shoulder charge and cleared everybody out to win the ball. They're not playing naive, that's for sure. Good space for Phillips. Could see Yale keeping somebody tight to Shaheen at all times, but she can run right by you like that. Isla Shaheen looking for more. Ella Weil couldn't keep it moving with Layla Booker all over her. And maybe Yale can go the other way. It's opening up. Lundstedt will try it right at the goalkeeper's shot.
Well, opening up indeed for as locked in as this Yale team was in that opening 45, unable to get out through possession. They're going quick and they're going decisive in the possession to start the second half, trying to flip the point of attack and start to create some chances on Brown. A really good response here to start the opening second frame from Yale.
Jacobs won the ball initially. Cross, dangerous, Lundstedt. It's a crowded bodies in the 6-yard box, and Bella Shop comes away with the ball.
And once again, Yale getting the ball wide. It's a good ball in there from Ellie Rappel. Find her way into the middle of the box. Vienna Lundstedt unable to put one on frame. And then it's the second one, though, from Meredith Phillips. Just can't quite get enough lift on that ball to get it over Bella Shop and to have the lead.
All right, well, if these first 8 minutes of the second half are any indication, we're in for a thriller the rest of the way. Yale already with more shots in the first 8 minutes of the second half than they had in the entire first. And Kean McNeil was seated almost the entire first half. Enough concern to stand and take a look at this one. Rappel with runners. I don't think she sees them. Phillips has Butcher at the back post. Overshot her. She actually did really well to keep it alive for Yale, but nobody could come crash the goal mouth.
Well, yet again, it's those wide areas from Yale. This time getting to that right in Meredith Phillips, and a good ball into the back post. Again, can't quite find that final finish, but Yale knocking on the door, trying to fight their way back into this game.
Just hear both teams screaming instructions, screaming communication. All won by Yale in the midfield. Cahalan does win a free kick for the Bulldogs right in front of the Brown bench. Sarah Martinez, Patty, has to like the first 10 minutes, even if the goal hasn't come yet.
You could see when we talked to Sarah Martinez coming in out of the half, she was fired up and wanted to see a response. She certainly has seen that the spacing so much better from Yale to start this second half.
First corner kick for Yale coming, and this is where they make their hay. There you see the numbers, Yale turning up the pressure and just having the ball in the attacking half. She says, Sarah Martinez of her team, every time we have a corner, everybody on our team thinks we're going to score.
Well, and look for Ellie Rappel to put this ball right on top of Bella's shop. Yale will put a lot of numbers in that 6-yard box and see if they can manufacture a goal here on a set piece.
You can see the numbers. They push into the 6 as Rappel delivers. Brown dealt with the first threat. Now can they capitalize? Yale will reset at the back. But Patty, you talked about spacing. To the layman, what does that mean? What are we looking for when we say their spacing is better, and how is it impacting the second half?
Well, this Yale team plays 5 in midfield, so they rely a lot on their wing backs, Alana Butcher and Meredith Phillips, to provide the width in possession. And by providing that width, they're going to stretch the Brown defensive unit. So if they can get the ball into those wide players, they're going to find more pockets of space in between the lines in between the midfield and the back, those lines of Brown. And so by having a better spacing throughout the field, they're finding more spaces to attack Brown, more time in possession, and better chances through that possession.
That's Phillips, 12 on the near side, is the right wing back. And Alana Butcher, 16, with the blonde double ponytail on the far side of the field, is the left wing back, providing some of that width for Yale. This is Logan Jacobs, slaloms past 2. And Trenor plays it out. You can see how quickly Phillips wants the ball. Ahead for Rappel, out for another corner. Did you see in Portugal where the player scored a game-winning goal and then gave his post-match award to the ball boy who had gotten the ball back in play so quickly? I guess that was out for a throw in the end rather than a corner. So not the set piece Yale was hoping to capitalize on. And offside the decision, sloppy getting the ball back to Phillips. Fast start to this second half, though. More end-to-end action than we saw in the entire first half, which was dominated by Brown. Neat footwork by Mate to come away with that. The speed of Shaheen. Ball stayed in according to the referee, Matt Stein. He says no foul. See, Weil at 6'1" is the target for most of these deliveries. Couldn't get on the end of that one. Ellie Rappel wins the free kick. Layla Shell saying, I barely touched her. But they win it right back. While applying pressure and earning another Brown corner. They'll let them sub on this corner as well. Almost no changes for Brown in the first half, and the ones they did make were in the final 15. Second half, a different story. As you alluded to, they used a lot of energy in that first.
Well, that's right. And this is a deep Brown team if they can go to that bench.
This is Lexi Quinn, one of the center backs. Gianna DePriest, one of the players who came in, is central. And that pass off the mark gives it to Yale. Rappel back on her feet. Oh, tremendous turn there, but just ball ran away from her. This is Rappel. Loose touch, immediately stripped by Chesney Robinson. This is DePriest, has started at times for them. Not only this year, but in years past. And you can see the physical play trying to body off Shaheen. And Shamgoshin, no nonsense, puts it in the bleachers. Carly Schlosser to throw, the right wing back for Brown here. 63rd minute. Brown completely controlled the first half. Yale has threatened more in the early stages of the second. Well, they seem to have lost a little momentum of late.
I think they came out and expended a lot of energy trying to work their way back into this game in that opening 10-15 minutes. Now you've seen both teams settle a bit into this second half. You'd like to see Brown maybe put the ball on the floor a little bit, keep possession, try to kill this game and get away with a big 3 points in the Ivy League.
This is Cahalan, quickly closed down by McGuire. Yale able to keep it, though. This is Vienna Lundstedt. They didn't find her enough in the first half. She finds Rappel. Out for a Yale corner.
Well, now we've seen a few times from the freshman Vienna Lundstedt getting in really good spots, finding the ball at her feet, and then providing that entry pass into the likes of Ellie Rappel. Rappel this time does well to get to the end line, but in the end, a tremendous challenge not to allow service into the box from Brown. This Yale team, they love to get wide. They love to put the ball in the box. That's where you feel a goal is going to come from.
Back to Alana Butcher. Awkward collision, and it's out for a goal kick. Now this Saturday, our SEC on ABC college football lineup starts with number 7 Alabama hosting South Carolina at noon Eastern, and then the 120th Red River rivalry matchup at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Number 1 Texas, number 18 Oklahoma. Another top 15 matchup, LSU and Ole Miss rounds out the night at 7:30. Great trifecta for you on Saturday. Texas State Fair. Kind of want to put that on my bucket list. It's one of the many Texas things I haven't gotten to.
I think the big question there, who's going to play quarterback for Texas this weekend? They might have a little bit of a QB controversy brewing if Quinn Ewers is healthy in time.
It's a good problem to have, right?
I think if you're the number 1 team in the nation, I'd take it.
Right here, Brown trying to consolidate its 2-0 lead. They would love a third that would presumably put it out of reach. Yale trying to just pull one back to give themselves a chance in the final minutes. Great effort, but it went straight to Vienna Lundstedt of Yale. And she's stopped on her way through with something illegal. Free kick coming for the Bulldogs.
Well, and this is another one that you'd like to see Yale perhaps slow down, do it the right way, get some of those targets into the box and see if you can manufacture a goal to try to climb back into this game.
Second ball fell to Rappel. Her eyes lit up, but the ball a bit behind her, and it winds up in the corner. Eventually, a goal kick. That's stolen by Lundstedt. Spins. Passes. Just wide. Rappel missed one of their best looks of the afternoon.
Wow, this is so quality from the freshman Vienna Lundstedt. Just so clean with the footwork. And then a great entry ball there to Ellie Rappel. And from 8 yards away, Ellie Rappel is not going to miss many of those. That's one that she would love to have back.
Kirshner. Yale putting the pressure on, outshooting Brown 4-1 this half. And Shop does well to come get that under some pressure. You can hear "Let's go keep" from the referee, Matt Stein. All kinds of space here. Phillips ahead. Shop thought about coming, held up. Kirshner can't turn it back toward goal. A night and day from the first half.
Yeah, that's right. Good slip there from Meredith Phillips. Again, they're getting the ball into those wide areas, and they're starting to stretch Brown. But as you alluded to, this is a night and day course. This is what we expected the game to be. A little bit more back and forth, and a Yale team that has played through that midfield and is creating chances by doing so.
Both Layla Shell and Nadja Mete, who have been running that midfield, return after a 9-minute break. See if that closes down some of the Yale opportunities. See how long Bella Shop takes here. She started at about 20:57. All right, she did okay. '70th minute. Brown came out flying, as you would expect, and pressed Yale into submission, quite honestly, in the first half. 2 goals and a clear edge throughout, but the game not yet out of reach. Cahalan, too much on that through ball, angling it toward Phillips. Kia McNeil looking on, one of her best friends, Sarah Martinez. Martinez said that was probably one of the first texts she got after the game was mine, after the loss to Princeton on Saturday. And a heavy tackle here should give Yale a scoring chance.
This is a really dangerous spot for a free kick. It's one you'd love to see just whipped in right at that 6-yard box, so that if nobody touches it, perhaps it skips it and gets on frame.
Rappel. No clean contact in the end, and it'll be a goal kick. Sarah Martinez, we told you, 5th year at Yale, and she and Key McNeil talk a couple times every week. I'm sure she didn't share the plan to go to a 3-5-2 with Sarah too early.
If you're Sarah Martinez, though, you have to be really pleased with how your team has responded in the second half.
Yeah.
How dominant Brown was in that opening 45. You know, Yale could have packed up and gone home. That's not what they've done, and they've really taken it to Brown, especially in the last 15 minutes. You get the sense that if Yale can sneak a goal here in the next few minutes, it's going to be a frenetic ending to what has been a really entertaining game.
I enjoy these when the coaches have good relationships, because a lot of times, you know, after the game, they're probably going to share with each other, you know, kind of what they saw as the opponent, and it can help that other team going forward. Rappel, tremendous run through 2 defenders, and she wins another corner. Talk about a work rate. She has not slowed down while in the game, unless she's been tying her shoes. See the pressure around Bella Shop. Layla Booker starts right on top of her. Annika Bryant just into the game, and this is Butcher Senior from San Diego to deliver the corner. Not far off with that header.
Got a dangerous ball into the box there. Andy Miller does well to go up and find it, and you're right, not far from finding that near post and making this a one-goal game.
When everybody was kind of standing watching because it was up where nobody could reach it, but it did drift wide. We're expecting quite a race in the Ivy League this year for the 4 postseason spots. Shaheen and Mate in again, and that one's blocked by Andy Miller. Awkward footing from DePriest to keep that moving, but it opens up space for Yale. Not quite the right weight on that pass. Weil and Shaheen, 2-woman game. Isla Shaheen, big touch. She will get there. Nobody in white with attacking, and it was safe for Booker to take that touch.
The pace of Shaheen is so striking. You note she has just a heavy touch, and any other player in the field, no chance getting that ball. It just looked like another one for Isla Shaheen.
The problem is nobody can keep up with her from her team. So if she's not the one scoring, she doesn't have help. Weil did really well to put that into space where Shaheen could run onto it, and it's a Brown throw. Now the sub coming with Brown leading, and you would expect them to stop the clock at 15 minutes. That's again, in the past it's been the final 5 minutes the team that's winning makes a sub, the clock stops. Now it's the final 15 as you see Aminata Davis coming on for Carly Schlosser. High boot against Brown. It'll be a free kick for Yale. Doesn't get much easier for the Bulldogs. They're home against Princeton on Sunday. Then at Cornell, home against Columbia, and at Harvard. '76th minute as Brown tries to see this one out. Trying to go to 2-1 in Ivy League play. Columbia already 3-0. Princeton will try to do the same. As you see, Yale's going to play both of them in the next 3 weeks, and don't rule out Harvard yet either. Annika Bryant putting pressure on, and that one will drift out for a Yale corner. 27, Kira Trenor from St. Charles North High School in Illinois has been a day one leader almost as a first year at the back for them. Rappel's corner. You see what she was trying to do, and Yale has scored directly from a corner this year. But in this case, it goes wasting. Yale having trouble getting the ball on the deck, and finally Brown does. Robinson looking for the run of Naja Mete. Touched it inside for Shaheen. Weil in the penalty area hoping for some delivery, and it'll be a corner kick coming. So again, the clock stops with Brown subbing here. And Mete, who scored the second goal, comes out and is done for this one. Corner kick number 8 for Brown. Okonye pocket picked by Vienna Lundstedt. Could see her skill. She knew she wasn't going to outrun the entire Brown team. As it turned out, nobody from Yale could. Really good bit of possession for Brown here. Weil put it where her teammate had been a few seconds ago and gives it back to Yale. Sneaky good touch from Rappel there. Is Yale able to switch the point of attack?
Now you're starting to see, ticking down to this final 11 minutes, Brown start to drop deeper and deeper into those 2 blocks of 4, making it really difficult for Yale to break them down in possession, keeping the game in front of that Brown back line.
Cahalan snuck behind them. You can hear the cries of pick up 11. Ball never got that far, and Brown yet to clear. This is Weil, the center forward, 36, chasing back into her own box. Puts that out in space and says, Isla, go. Go. She can't quite keep it in, but it's worth the price of admission. That's how they used to play it for you, Patty, right? Just play it out into space and go.
Not sure I had that type of pace, and certainly did not have that type of pace for 81 minutes like we're seeing from Isla Shaheen. But, man, he has really been everything and more for this Brown team that was in need of some attacking flair coming off that loss over the weekend.
Nine minutes to play. Still that 2-0 lead. Brown has not threatened much at all in this second half, but they haven't needed to. So they've used that skip pass a little bit more in the second half, Yale, and get this one out. Rappel, the target in the corner. Neat footwork, but Lexi Quinn stood her up. And that from Shaheen, she has both the speed and some of the hold-up ability, really gives Brown hope for the future. She's on the move again. She takes the bump from Booker without a problem. That one did touch Shaheen last, but this is a coming out party.
In the end, it's really good defending from Layla Booker, but you're right. I mean, Isla Shaheen has shown that she's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Ivy League for years to come, and not just to come, but right now. I mean, she's been the best player on the field and shown a lot of dynamic ability in, like you say, her hold-up play, but also getting in behind this Yale back line and causing a lot of problems for the Bulldogs.
Brown back in action Sunday. They'll be at Rhodes Field in Philadelphia to play Penn. Then home against Columbia. That's going to be a critical game in this race. Home against Cornell and at Dartmouth. And as always with the Ivy League action, you can see it on ESPN+. Top 4 teams out of the 8 make the Ivy League tournament. Cahalan got it to the top of the penalty area. Tina Tike keeps it moving. Annika Bryant. Didn't have a ton of ideas or options and wound up putting it in the side netting. Carly Schlosser returns here for Brown to finish things out. Into space for Okonye. And Booker puts it straight up in the air. Shamgoshen all over it. Must be pretty cool for Anna Shamgoshen to make her Ivy League debut in, of all places, her hometown, Providence. Not the circumstances, of course, in which she hoped to be featured. Still 5.5 to play. Yale going forward. Little back heel from Logan Jacobs. Yes, thank you. Lundstedt got it to Butcher, right-footed effort. Bella Shop all over it with Yale runners charging at her.
It's going to be hard to challenge Bella Shop from that sort of distance, but a really good first touch there from Alana Butcher. And a good idea, a good effort from distance on that right foot, trying to find a way to claw their way back into this game.
Lundstedt whistled for the foul. You can see the urgency with which Yale's trying to move. Ball one right back by Brown. Can they find a third open look? Joy Okonye. That's deflected by Shamgoshen and cleared away. At the other end, offside flag is up. It's a free kick for Brown.
Well, you see this ball just in behind for Okonye. Tries to slip it past Shamgosha in the end, but a good recovery from the left center back there, Alicia So, to keep this at a 2-goal game.
Now, the best of 5 WNBA finals start tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central on ESPN, and of course available in the app. Nafisa Collier and the Minnesota Lynx against the New York Liberty and Brianna Stewart. Our coverage starts with WNBA Countdown at 7:30 tomorrow night, 6:30 of course, in Minnesota. Heard the ticket prices for that one are way up from last year. Friend who's got his eyes on those. Series gets underway tomorrow. What a year for women's sports in general, and the WNBA among the beneficiaries and those who have worked so hard to get it there. Brown trying to kill some clock, taking that corner.
Offside.
And you heard Matt Stein, the referee, say he was down there himself to call it offside. Shaheen still causing problems. 88th minute. Brown came out, dominated the first half. Goals in the 21st and the 28th to take control of this one. And it will be a Brown throw-in on the far side. Patty, what's impressed you the most about this Brown response? Because, I mean, we were wondering, the rest of the Ivy League was wondering how they would come out.
Well, I think it's just been the overall maturity of a very young team. Kia McNeil trotted out 5 freshmen in her starting 11 who had just gotten it taken to them 8-0 against a good Princeton team. Well, they came out, they jumped on Yale early on. They showed a bit of swagger. They scored a couple of great goals. And then you've seen in the second 45 a Yale team that came out and tried to climb their way back into this game. It's been a very organized, very tactically sound performance from a young group that's showing a lot of what they're capable for years to come.
Yale looks like it'll suffer its first defeat in Ivy League play. Probably encouraged by the second half response, but no goals to show for it. Final minute in Providence. Brown looks like it will stay unbeaten at home this year at 4-0-1 and go to 2-1 in the Ivy League. Okonye for Shaheen, wants the return pass. Shaheen showing some of that maturity, goes to the corner. I love it. It's the vet saying, play me in on goal, and it's the first year saying, no, we're killing this clock. The countdown is on in Providence. What a response from Brown. They go wire to wire on the front foot, and they win it 2-0 to go to 2-1 in